Once you get in the habit of shopping and buying a lot of things, it can be really hard to get out of that habit and snap yourself out of it and change your mindset into buying things that matter to you and not wasting money. I think we all go through spending seasons in our lives, and sometimes you have a big spend month or a big spend year if you bought a house and you're furnishing it. But sometimes we're just spending recklessly and wastefully. And I actually did something these past couple of months that has really helped me stop buying things I don't need. So what I did to stop buying so many things that I don't need is having a low spend or a no spend month. So if you haven't heard of a low spend or no spend month, what this means is you are being cautious, or you have a certain list of things that you don't want to buy within a month. You still pay for your bills, you still buy all the things you need and all of the necessities, but you're very mindful about the things you don't need and the wants, and you don't buy those things in that month. I have tried to do low spend months in the past, and I've had no success with them. But the past month I did an amazing job at my low spend or no spend. I still bought necessities, I still bought some food. Just wanted to jump in while I'm editing my video and say this video was filmed in December. So everything you're hearing about me doing great, about my low spend, no spend for the first time, was actually in October and November of 2024. I am doing a low spend 2025. So I just wanted to clarify in case there's any confusion. But I did a great job on cutting back. And what it taught me was I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of body wash, I have a lot of things, and I don't need to accumulate things. I need to use the things I have first, and then I can buy things. It really made me value the items that I already have and put a plan forward to use the items I have before buying and constantly accumulating things that I don't need. Not only is this good financially, but it's also good for the space in your house, because if we buy a lot of things, our house is going to be filled with crap, and sometimes these things go bad before we can even use them. And then we're wasting things and we're wasting money, because wasting an item, throwing something out, is like throwing away money. Now, waste is inevitable. There are things we're going to throw out. There's produce that's going to go bad, but minimizing that can really help you save money. Now, doing a low spend, the most important thing was not the fact that I did the low spend, but the mindset shift. So if you want to stop wasting money and stop buying things, you need to have an intentional mindset shift. This is my dog. He's a big spender. He was just barking, so I had to pick him up for a second, but he wanted to say hello. He is a big line item in our budget, but it's because I love him so much. The thing is if you don't want to change your mindset and you don't want to spend less, it's going to be very difficult to change your mindset. Being mindful and taking inventory of what you have is so important. I know it can be really difficult to change your mindset and not buy things you don't need, because sometimes you have things at home that do the exact same thing, but you still want to buy things because sometimes it's fun to go and buy things. And it can be really difficult to get rid of that habit. And I'm not saying not to buy things ever again, but just use the things you have a mindset shift, and respect the things you have and use them because they're valuable. You bought them, and if you don't like the items you have, be mindful going forward to try to buy the things that you want. Because I have saved so much money being intentional about what I'm buying, being mindful about what I bring into my home, and realizing that if I buy things I like, I'm wasting less. So let's say you have a budget category of $200 and you're constantly throwing things out from that budgeted category. So you think, I need to spend $200 because that's how much I spend every month, but you don't categorize the waste. So I'd actually recommend, if you're tossing things out, or groceries or food or skincare that you're not using, write down how much you wasted, write down the cost of that item and what you could have saved, and that will help you change your mindset. If you want to be intentional and stop wasting money and start saving towards things that matter to you and financial stability in your future goals and your future plans, I would recommend making a wish list. So if you go in the store and you're so tempted by something and you're like, I need this item, I cannot live without this item, take a picture, make a wish list. It can be on Notes, it can be on Google Docs, whatever platform you want to use it. Write down how much it costs. In a month from now, I want you to look at that list, see all the things you didn't buy, see if you A, still want them, and B, see how much you would have spent and how much you actually saved by not buying those items. You will be shocked at how much you would have spent if you would have given into each and every one of your impulses. Having a low or no spend month or week is important because it gives your mind time to refresh and kind of reset itself and understand, hey, I lived without this item, I can live without these items. But if we're constantly used to buying things, it can be really hard to get out of that habit. If you are in debt, I would recommend a low spend even more, because then the money you save you can put towards getting out of debt and becoming debt free. Because being in debt is not a comfortable thing. I'm sure you're stressed about it and you don't like it. And I don't want you to be in debt. Sometimes people that are stressed and overwhelmed with having so much debt go and buy things to calm themselves down. But the issue is, if you're buying things when you're in debt, the item you bought is technically bought on debt. Because if you have money that you owe and you're buying something, that item that was not necessary could have been put into paying off debt. And it's really important to get out of debt as soon as you can if you're in debt. If you really like having new things, I would actually recommend taking all the things you bought that you're not using currently, all the new things with tags, and put them in a box. And then when you feel like shopping or buying something, open that box and look at all the new stuff you already bought and you already have. It will make you really appreciative about the items you have, and it will help the temptation of buying, and hopefully you won't be buying as much stuff by having some new stuff to use. Of course, I still buy things after my low spend, no spend. I'm not a no spend for the rest of my life, but I'm more intentional about what I buy. Before my low spend and no spend, I was intentional about what I purchased, and I was still being mindful, but now I feel like I'm even more mindful and even more intentional. I really hope these tips helped, and I would love to hear about your life, and if you've ever done a low spend or no spend, let me know in the comments. Also, I do plan on making a video on how to do a low or no spend month in the future, so stick around if you're interested in that, and if you're interested in other financial content, I post every single week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!